Thank you so much, Ralph. I'm so humbled by your kind words and compliments. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Commander of the Army, sir, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. If a nation forgets its past, it is certainly not focused to face the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not intend to go by the saying history repeats. But for sure, in order to avoid the recurrence of bad experiences in the past, a nation must take good note of what happened then and be comprehensively prepared to face the future. If you see the map, this is how it was. And by the time we eradicated terrorism, the influence it would have had the LTTE locally and regionally. Go by the definition of national security, ladies and gentlemen. National security is an uncompromising element that assures the survival of the state and simply the means by which the nation's aspirations for prosperity and national well-being is facilitated. In the holistic sense, national security is the foundation of the freedom and prosperity of a state. The national security of Sri Lanka needs to be addressed in context of the history of this country and the realities of its present situation, and most critically, from the perspective of several obligations of the state. The state must ensure that the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation is maintained and that there are no threats to the safety of her population. Ensuring economic growth so that the people of the country can uplift their standard of living is also critical in order to prevent internal problems recurring in the future. Creating a favorable environment for Sri Lanka internationally is similarly of utmost importance in keeping adverse external influences at bay. Securing the safety of our physical assets and safeguarding the nation's democracy are also critical. Considering this overall context, it is clear that national security must be understood within a unified single framework that integrates the nation's defense, law and order, foreign and economic policy. These four areas need to come together in the creation of a comprehensive national security strategy. This is essential if Sri Lanka to consolidate its present peace and stability and realize its potential. Sri Lanka today is marching steadily in a quest for development. The 5-hub strategy adopted by the government, which envisions the development of Sri Lanka into a knowledge hub, commercial hub, naval and maritime hub, aviation hub, and an energy hub, is at the centerpiece of a policy designed to translate this growth into sustainable economic development. This transformation will not only bring enormous development to Sri Lanka, but also represent Sri Lanka as a major economic powerhouse in the unraveling Asian Renaissance. During a time span of 4 years from the day the conflict ended to date, most significant post-war national security challenges, including the revival of democracy, have been accomplished. The challenges that loom in the horizon and needed to be taken care of domestically are preventing the re-emergence of terrorism, establishing effective methods to project Sri Lanka to the international community, suppressing the emergence of other extremist groups, preventing further ethnic divisions and communal violence, challenges of maritime security and border control, curtailing the growth of organized crime, and new challenges in safeguarding a just and wholesome democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to these country-specific issues, there are regional issues that arise because of the increasing geostrategic importance of Sri Lanka, as Secretary to the Ministry of Defense enumerated yesterday. As a result of the rapid economic and military development of the countries like India and China in recent decades, the entire Asian region has become increasingly important in global affairs. There's a possibility that some powers with vested interest wish to have a Sri Lankan government that is closely aligned with their interests. They may seek to influence Sri Lanka's destiny so that it cannot pursue the independent course it is following at present. In addition, the power politics between key countries in the region, such as India and China, or India and Pakistan, are also important issues for Sri Lanka because of our relationship with these nations. Sri Lanka's journey during the 4 years since the dawn of peace has seen the country transform itself from a nation at war to one of the most peaceful, stable, and secure democracies in the world. How well the country navigates its present issues, including national security challenges and broader geopolitical issues arising from its geographical position, will determine its destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, to take this interaction further, I would now introduce and invite the first panelist out of the three who represent the three services, Major Udapara, who represents the Army, to deal on the national military part of the presentation. A brief introduction of Major Udapara, who is a colleague of my regiment. Major Udapara, who joined Sri Lanka Army in the year 1981, is a fine product of Sri Lanka Military Academy, Diyathalawa. He has held all the important command appointments in his capacity and has experience in key staff appointments such as Brigadier General Staff of Security Forces Vanni, Director of Training, and most importantly as Director Operations during the most crucial stages of the historical humanitarian operation which brought an end to the 30 years long conflict. He is alumni of Army War College, USA, and graduate of Army Command and Staff College, Sri Lanka, Command Staff College, India, and National Defense University, Washington, D.C. His excellence in academic and leadership performances were honored by awarding him a lifetime alumni membership by U.S. Army War College, becoming the first international fellow to receive such distinction. Major Udapara was appointed as Deputy High Commissioner of Sri Lanka in Malaysia in year 2009 by the government in recognition of his distinguished service rendered to the country, thus becoming the first serving general in the Sri Lankan Armed Forces to receive such deputation in the foreign service. During his 2 years of diplomatic tenure, he was able to disintegrate and neutralize LTT network in Malaysia successfully and obtained full support of diaspora to assist the reconstruction efforts in war-torn areas of Sri Lanka. Today, in addition to holding office as Director General Military Intelligence, he is actively engaged in assisting the government efforts of reconciliation, holding one of the key command appointments in Sri Lanka Army as Commander Security Forces, where he is responsible for district of Kilinochchi, the gateway to prosperity in northern region of Sri Lanka. Major Udapara.